welcome to the January meeting of the Board of Education. We're here tonight to conduct business for the district, and we thank you for your interest and thank you that you're here. Tonight we have from David Hicks Elementary School, London Hudson, Darius Acaro, Aiden Jenkins, Easton Wade, Zoe Griffin, and Julia Smith. If you would come up, please. So 265.25, we have the Pledge of Allegiance. Shall we all stand?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Stay up here, kids. Stay up here.
All right, good afternoon, good evening. First, we have Julia Smith. He is a first grader in Miss Winston's class. His parents are Kiara and Cortez. Sister is Autumn. He's a member of the Boy Scouts. Everybody wave, Julius. Second, we have Zoe Griffin. She's a third grader in Miss Canada's class. Parents of Lovat and Joy, first year in the district, and she is representing our Girl Scouts. We have Darius Acaro here in the red. He's a fifth grader in Mrs. Bill's class. His parents are Regina and Francis. Sisters are Demija and Desaria, who attend Franklin Middle School. And Darius has attended all years from kindergarten to fifth at Hicks. London Hudson couldn't be here, but I would be remiss if I didn't announce her. Fifth grader in Mrs. Bill's class. Parents are Ashley and Jeremy. Brother Jaden attends John Glenn, and she also did K through 5 at Hicks. Then, representing Mrs. Buttrick's class, we have Aiden Jenkins. First grader in Mrs. Buttrick's class, and his parents are Chandra and Scotty. He attended Stottlemyre, and now he attends Hicks. And then we had another special friend, Easton Wade. He's in second grade at Hicks. Unfortunately, he had a medical issue today. His parents are Sandy and Kevin, and we wanted to honor him. Sandy is a teacher at Hamilton, so it's a nice connection we have. And he has a sister, Ella, and two older brothers. I'd also like to shout out to the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts who are representing Hicks tonight. This year, it's a new thing that Mrs. Huey started for the Boy Scouts, and Mrs. Hodges, Mrs. Van Proyen, and Mrs. Garcia started a Girl Scout troop. And 26% of Hicks students are now in Scouting. So that's a big, great thing.
That's a sharp uniform.
Yes, it is. Pledge of Allegiance, Darius Acaro, London Hudson.
She's absent. I can take it for him. Okay.
Aiden Jenkins. Zoe Griffin. And Julia Smith. Let's give the kids a good round of applause.
All right, you guys are going to hold out your awards and look at me, okay? Now give me a big smile. Good job.
Good job.
We understand, parents, if you need to take your children home to do homework or get them into bed for the night, If you need to leave, we certainly excuse you at this time.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Carl.
Yeah.
Thank
We
you.
went to Wayne. It's so
Thank
crazy.
you.
I go to school with your friends, graduate their kids.
Scouting program.
Like I graduated my girlfriend's daughters. Yeah. Gave my son his diploma. I gave my nephews their diplomas.
That's
Pretty
great.
cool.
Thank you.
Did they do their presentation?
They were my seniors. She got braids in her hair.
I thought they was gonna do their presentation. Are they doing their presentation? I thought they was staying for the ain't y'all staying for the presentation? Hey.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We'll come back to order at this time. Item 266.25, roll call attendance, Ms. Hines.
Mr. Ambrose,
Present.
Miss Abney Mitchell,
Present.
Dr. Weaver,
Present.
Miss May,
Present.
Mr. Cox,
Present?
Mr. Rashawn,
Present.
Miss Hines present, 7-0. We have everyone here.
Item 267.25, we have the swearing in of 3 new board members tonight. As I call their name one at a time and ask them to step into the well, we'll ask their families to join them for the swearing in. Mr. Ambrose.
Somebody gonna swear me?
Could I have a copy of that, please? Someone should have told you this is self-serve. I do solemnly swear or affirm
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of the state,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of member of the Board of Education
the duties of the office of member of the Board of Education
of Wayne Westland Community Schools,
of Wayne Westland Community Schools,
Wayne County, Michigan,
Wayne County, Michigan,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Nobody took pictures. Oh, did you? Oh.
Next in line, we have new board member Shannon Roshan. If his family would join him in the well, please.
Your pastor can come down and read that paper.
You know he can't go anywhere without his pastor.
Yeah, he can read the,
Do you have someone to administer the pledge?
get the paper from,
Would you like to administer the pledge?
Oh, sure. Thank you very much for the privilege. Just read this portion.
Yes, let him repeat after.
Would you repeat after me? I do solemnly swear or affirm
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of this state,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of a member of the Board of Education
of the office of a member of the Board of Education
of Wayne Westland Community Schools,
of Wayne Westland Community Schools,
Wayne County, Michigan,
Wayne County, Michigan,
according to my best ability.
according to my best ability.
Mr. And now to the prettiest girl I know, my wife is coming to swear in Frederick Weaver.
I'm gonna picture with your pastor. Okay. You gotta go take it.
You should have this memorized by now.
Do you solemnly affirm
I do solemnly affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of this state,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of member of the Board of Education
of the office of member of the Board of Education
of Wayne Westland Community
of
Schools,
Wayne Westland Community Schools,
Wayne County, Michigan,
Wayne County, Michigan,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities. I guess I should give opportunity if your families would like to leave at this time. I'm not sure you want to sit here for the whole meeting, but that's up to you. All right. We have next item 268.25, the election of officers. The way this will go tonight is it will be by nomination, and we're going to go through the whole process before we change seats. Okay, so we will begin now with the office of president. Is there a nomination?
I would like to nominate Kimberly May.
Kimberly May. I forgot, does this have to be seconded?
Nope.
No. All right, Kimberly May is the name. Roll call, Ms. Hines.
Ms. May,
Yes.
Dr. Weaver,
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose,
Yes.
Ms. Abney Mitchell,
Yes.
Mr. Cox,
Yes.
Mr. Rashawn,
Yes.
Ms. Hines. I actually want to nominate myself, but I guess I'll say yes.
Congratulations, Ms. May. You'll be serving as our board president. Now for the office of vice president of the board, do I hear a nomination?
Yes, I would like to nominate Luana Abney Mitchell.
Luana Abney Mitchell is the name. Roll call attendance, Ms. Hines.
Ms. Abney Mitchell,
Yes.
Dr. Weaver,
No.
Mr. Rashawn,
No.
Mr. Cox,
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose,
Yes.
Ms. Hines, no.
So what is the tally?
Did I vote?
Oh, Ms. May, I'm sorry, Ms. May.
Yes.
Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Congratulations, Ms. Abney Mitchell. You will be this year's vice president. For the office of secretary, do I hear a nomination?
I nominate Melody Hines.
Thank you.
Melody Hines is the name. And please take the roll call attendance.
Okay, we have Mr. Rashawn,
Yes.
Dr. Weaver,
Yes?
Ms. Hines, yes. Ms. Abney Mitchell,
Yes.
Mr. Cox,
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose,
Yes.
Miss May.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, congratulations, Ms. Hines. And now for the office of treasurer.
I'd like to nominate Andrew Ambrose.
Yeah, me too.
Mr. Ambrose is the name. Roll call attendance?
Dr. Weaver,
Yes.
Miss May,
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose,
Yes.
Mr. Rashawn,
Yes.
Miss Abney Mitchell,
Yes.
Mr. Cox,
Yes.
Miss Hines, yes.
And congratulations to Mr. Ambrose. Okay, now with your kind permission, we'll take about a 2-minute break so that the board can reseat itself.
So,
Well, it's kind of up to the President May. It's-
So you can do that by next meeting.
Yeah, you can do it.
We're just filling right now, but next meeting you can
So we're gonna
change
stay or we're moving? We're
You're the
staying.
boss.
We can stay. I'm okay with
There you
staying.
go.
Yes, I'm okay with staying. We don't have to sit. No, move.
And you gonna
Okay.
run
No,
a meeting
we-
from there?
Yes, okay, move.
It's
You probably should
customary.
for the camera, though. So we know who to blame. I mean,
Please take your, please take your name tags with you.
She need a suitcase.
there you go.
Please come through, ladies.
You'll see camera.
yeah, you can sit right here.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
There you go, Mr. Rashawn.
I see a purse left in my seat, so thank you, Miss Abney Mitchell, for that.
It was left there purpose for you to put something in there.
Nope.
Oh, he will.
Oh, it's not in my way.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll just get my eye out.
I'm just like, real stepping. All right. So, moving along, I'd just like to say thank you. Thank you, I forgot. Appreciate that. So we are now moving to item 269.25, recognitions and presentations. And I will turn that over to our interim superintendent, Jen Curry.
Sure. Our first presentation is from Mr. Furka, who's representing Hicks Elementary School.
Good evening once again. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of a glimpse in what life is like at Hicks. And so our school demographics, this year we have currently 453 students in 19 classrooms. When we had a spring count from last school year, we increased by 53 students this year, which is a huge score for the community. We have 3 kindergartens, 3 first grades, 2 second grades, 3 third grades, 4 fourth grades, 3 fifth grades, and 2 self-contained cognitively impaired classes. We currently have 117 students in special ed. We have 2 full-time resource room teachers and 1 part-time that we share with Walker Winter. And our ethnicity and race falls out as follows: 74% African American, 18% Caucasian, 4% multi-ethnic, 3% Hispanic, and 1% other. So we have, as I deem, the best staff around. 63% of our staff has been at Hicks for 5 or more years, which is a huge kudos to those educators. Some of the unique things to Hicks, we do have 2 Title I MTSS paras that we fund out of our Title I budget, which helps students who are below grade level in reading. We have 2 behavior coordinators, which is also unique in the district at the elementary level. We also fund those out of our Title I budget. They are an integral in keeping the learning happening at our school and keeping behaviors to a minimum. One of the biggest, most unique, wonderful things is sitting right in front of me. She is an art teacher in the district. She has been at Hicks for over 20 years and 27 years in the district. I'd like you to draw attention to your banner that she created with her kiddos, and you're gonna get a small gift in your board packages. This is Mel Peck, the one and only, a champion of Hicks kids for decades, and we appreciate her so much. Two of our kindergarten teachers are contributors in a new book, Transformative Social and Emotional Learning. It's being published in March, so that's a big feather in their cap. And she was here earlier. She's Aiden's teacher. Her name is Taylor Buttrick, and she was chosen as the Wayne County Commissioner's Teacher of the Month. So that was a big celebration for Hicks as well. Student well-being. We understand that life happens, but we have to make sure students feel well and safe and loved while they're at our school. So relationships are the cornerstone. All students are greeted daily by the behavior coordinators, myself, teachers, and ancillary staff. We focus on community building the first 2 weeks of school. We use restorative practices. Our behavior coordinators meet with students for emotional support groups weekly at all grade levels. We work on social skills, self-regulation strategies, de-escalation, and restorative conferences. We have a calm down area in each classroom that we fund through Title I each year. Our occupational therapist has created a whole sensory space for our kiddos. And 2 of my favorite things, we have puppy yoga for our students, and you can see the pictures in our cognitively impaired room. And then we have a therapy dog that visits bi-weekly and greets all 453 students. His name is Moose. He's our unofficial mascot, and the kids love him. So what do we do for student and family support? We have on-site food, hygiene, clothing, and school supplies pantry. Mental health support, we have 2 social workers along with the behavior coordinators who work on student crisis situations and proactive skills. We work with the National Kidney Foundation, and they provide a peanut nutrition program. We provide winter wear to all students who need it. And this past holiday season, my 2 social workers were able to provide support for 65 Hicks families who needed it to get through the holidays. So PBIS, we do things a little bit different at Hicks. We do teach PBIS. We announce it each morning in our morning announcement. Students who receive an average dojo point of 80% or higher attend the PBIS celebration. The points go directly to our expectations. We have a State of the School Assembly every month on the last Friday. All students come down and we celebrate the Students of the Month and the class that wins the Golden Awards. And the Golden Awards are given to the classes that do the best in specialist areas, the hallway, the lunchroom, the cleanest classroom, and the library. And it has become quite a spectacle. The kids are 100% bought in. They wait patiently to hear their class's name called. They hold hands, they hunker down in the gym, and they wait for me to say their name, and I have a lot of fun with it. I do like the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? I'll be like, and the winner is... And I'll be like, is it almost time for lunch? And they scream at me, but it has changed the trajectory of the behavior in our building, because I will hear kids in the hall and say, how are we gonna get the hallway Golden Award if you're talking? Or how are we gonna get the gym Golden Award if you're not listening to the teacher? So it really has made a difference. And they're simple: a golden lunch plate, a golden jump rope, a golden mouse for media, a golden paintbrush that the lovely Mel painted for us. So we have gone into a Hicks rebranding, and the reason we have done this is because Hicks is a unique place and it's special. And unfortunately or fortunately, we never had our own identity because there were 2 other schools in the district who had hornets and bees as their logo. And we also no longer had any black and yellow in our school. It was all taken out during the renovations. So I got permission before I started in August to go through this process. And the most unique thing about it, and personally the part that I love the most, is the kids are making the decision. I'm not putting any of my input in it. They are voting Friday to eliminate 2 mascots that you see here at the bottom. They will vote again in February and eliminate 2 more. And then in March, we'll have a March Madness type event, and they will choose the mascot they want to move forward. And you can see that our wonderful graphics department mocked these mascots up for me. Nick worked hard, and he did put them in the new Hicks colors, which are blue and green. The kids are extremely excited about it. They will also be dedicated to coming up with a new Hicks motto, so that they're very, very excited. Experiences. Through title funding, we really focus on providing experience for our kiddos. We love to send the kindergartners to the farm. And this year, for the first time in many years, our 5th graders will be able to experience the Outdoor Experience Center at Camp Storer. This may have happened 15 plus years ago, but we are able now to fund it so all 5th graders will have the opportunity to go. We are providing funding to host several assemblies to help students experience new cultural things, leadership initiatives, character building, and career goals. And we are also providing funding to bring the Exotic Zoo, Math Gizmos, and the Hands-On Museum to Hicks in the evening so we can have family atmosphere and have the families come and participate and eat dinner with us as they experience these great things. Student achievement. Currently, over 70% of our 3rd and 5th graders have already achieved their year-end projected goal in math, which is a huge achievement. We are cooking with gas when it comes to math, and we are also obtaining mastery in a lot of the areas of 5th grade literacy, so we wanted to highlight those. Points of pride. We have a new chess club and Spanish club. As I mentioned earlier, a thriving Boy Scout and Girl Scout organization where 26% of students participate. Student Council does public service projects, and they're consisted of 4th and 5th graders. Once again, I'm big on student-led initiatives, and our students do daily video announcements, and they send them out to the teachers daily, and it's the kids announcing the business of the school. We have a student-produced newspaper where the kids do the interviews and take the pictures and put it together. We have a huge participation in the cheerleading and sports teams that the district provides. Currently, I have 2 basketball teams, and our cheerleading team is almost 25 young ladies. We have a huge community involvement and partnership, several local churches, many, many local Inkster organizations, the National Kidney Foundation, and 2 Greek organizations, the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority and the Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity, who just did their National Day of Reading at Hicks on Friday, where 18 gentlemen came and read to all 453 students in a schedule, and they want to come back. So that's a great thing. Since we have a wonderful art teacher, our school is adorned with art. We have murals, we have kid art that is all over. We have spirit days for the kids often, but we changed it up a little bit, and we started to put in causes so the kids could see that you can wear purple for epilepsy awareness or pink for breast cancer and understand that it can have meaning. And then this past October, on Count Day, to bring kids into school so that we had a proper count, we had the first ever Hicks homecoming. And we had it just like a high school would, and the kids learned about voting and how you vote and how you do things. And we named our first ever Hicks homecoming King and Queen. So I have some pictures. You can see there is our King and Queen. That was part of our homecoming assembly. There's some wonderful scouting pics. Halloween is big at Hicks, and we hold a Halloween dance every year that over 70% of the students attend. We also do trick-or-treating during the morning of Halloween because just so everybody has a chance in case they can't go at night, they still have the opportunity to go at school. And if they go at night, double the candy. And here's the Spirit Days. You can see that we have pink and purple in these pictures, dressing up for Epilepsy Awareness and Breast Cancer Month. And that's all I have. Is there any questions? I would love to answer them.
Do you live at the school, Mr. Perkins?
I do not. I really do not. Yes, Ms. Hines.
I'd like to say thank you so much. You're doing a good job. I was a Hicks Hornet myself.
Yes, you
so
were.
So was my son. And I really like the thing with the new mascot and the colors. I like the hurricane, you know.
That's a popular one for sure.
Yeah.
When we first announced them to the kids, there was a few that it was sort of like, wah, wah. And I'm like, well, those will be the first ones voted out. Any more questions?
I just like to say thank you for all that you do. I have not, every time I came up to visit Hicks, you had many people in your room for lunch. So he also has a lot of lunch dates. You can catch him up there at any time and have somebody new in there having lunch. And I just want to speak about the social worker and the behavioral health. They are always busy. I have never came up there and they was not trying to solve a problem. So I just thank you. I'm fully aware of the community and some of your obstacles, and I just thank you for all that you do. And when you said, due to the lady sitting in front of me, I thought you was talking about me. But you was talking about the
you
art
always
teacher.
have a special place with me.
But you was talking about the art teacher, but you say in front of you, and I was like, oh, I was like one of those kids when you trying to announce who's going to be the millionaire.
And I should say, Dr. Weaver, Ms. Hines, and Ms. Abney Mitchell, thank you for coming to the school and walking through it. Everybody is invited anytime. I am more than proud to put on display what we do at Hicks, because it's definitely a wonderful thing.
But we appreciate you, and if you ever need anything, please let us know. And always, I encourage all schools, send out invites. You know, when we available, we can come, but if we don't know about it, we can't come.
Sure.
And that's all the schools. She's looking at me, I'm done.
Okay.
No, thank you, Mr. Furka,
Thank
for
you.
your presentation, and I'm appreciative of all of the hard work that you and your staff are doing. Just hearing about all of the student-led activities and the opportunities for students to have voice in what's going on in their school is huge. So thank you for that, and yeah, that's it. I'll just leave it at that.
Thank you. Thank you for all your support.
Absolutely. You have another one?
Thank you, Mr. Furka. Next, we have Ms. Casper from Stevenson Middle School.
Hi, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening.
Thanks for having me here. Annie Casper, principal at Stevenson Middle School. It's my first year here as principal, but I was the assistant principal for 3 years prior and was there for about 7 or 8 years as a coach and an intervention specialist. So I'm really proud to be carrying on the legacy of Stevenson Middle School. Okay, you told me to point it in this direction. Anywhere? Okay, there we go. All right, let's take a look at the demographics. So we're the largest middle school in the district with 761 students. That included an increase in our enrollment this year as well, close to 100 students. We look at the breakdown there, we've got 35% African American, 49% Caucasian, 16% rounding out the other ethnicities, 13% special education, 4% multilingual, and then 93% of our students are identified as at-risk learners. In our classrooms, we have sixth grade, which they function as teams. So we have 4 sixth grade teams, 3 of which are co-taught, which means they've got an additional teacher there doing some special ed support inside the classroom. We have co-taught math and ELA classes for all of our 7th and 8th grade. Math and ELA foundation classes as well to close some of those gaps that we may have seen in some of our scores previously. We have a self-contained cognitively impaired classroom, a self-contained emotionally impaired classroom, and we also have a self-contained POHI classroom. Our attendance, this is something we've been working on quite a lot. We focus a lot. You can see here our attendance looks pretty good. We have a large number of our students, over 90% are attending full to half day each and every day. We also have a lot of our students getting to class on time. Over 92% of our students are getting to class on time regularly. However, if you haven't been to a middle school recently, you know they like to spend some time in the hallway. You know, there's an energy there, and we like that. But what we noticed was when we had a minute bell, a warning bell, they were kind of waiting, lingering a little bit for that bell to ring, and then they were like in Olympic trials to get to class. So we just simply took away the minute bell for a bit, and we've seen a 6% reduction in tardies. So we started that November 18th. That was our first day that we tried that, and so we've seen a reduction in tardies, which is really exciting for us. We also started to really focus on rewarding the students. You know, we talk a ton about interventions, but we really felt there was a need to reward students who are there doing what they're expected to do each and every day. So we started rewarding the students that have 0 tardies, and we call them our pass leads. So they get a little certificate, they get a freebie. I've reached out to like KFC, Taco Bell. They're so willing to just give you little free certificates for, you know, chicken tenders or whatever. So we just put all that stuff together. They love it. They feel like they won the lottery just because they got to class on time. I would say one of my biggest areas of focus, I describe myself as a vibe person. So when you walk into the building, what I want people to feel is that our number one focus is on the well-being of our students and staff members there. That's really what ensures learning takes place. So we have our PBIS program. We call ours our RAPS. That's Respect, Accountability, Pride, and Safety. So we focus on these each and every day. They're always in our announcements, which are video announcements led by our school broadcasting class. We, each quarter, we have a reward, a party for students who have met those expectations. So it's things like getting to class on time, not having major ODRs or major behavior incidents, you know, passing your classes or showing an effort. And for our first quarter, we had over 400 students that were eligible to go. This included an open gym, some music. I mean, really, the kids just like to have a little variety. They like to have the day feel special to them. So we always include snacks as well. We have our second quarter RAPS party coming up this Friday, and it's going to be student versus staff basketball and student versus staff volleyball. So I'm like already taking my Advil, just getting ready for what's to come. We're really excited about those. Just a unique piece to this that I want to mention. When a kid is determined to be ineligible, whether they've had too many tardies or they received a suspension, we really are hesitant to have that student feel like they've lost their chance, right? So each and every time we have what we call a second chance, and kids are able to apply. They fill out a little Google form, asks them to do some reflection questions. They fill out a form, a check-in, check-out form with their teacher for the week, and then they come and they meet with us. So it's typically myself or my assistant principal, Mr. Basista, a behavior team member, and a teacher, and usually someone who's also in charge of the event. This allows them an opportunity to kind of put forth a path, some decisions, things that they can do to change their trajectory moving forward. It's been really awesome to not only be able to communicate with the kids when they get it, but also to communicate with the families. It's always nice to give that call and say, man, your kid worked extra hard to come up with a plan. They met with us and presented it, and now they get to go and enjoy this party. So we like to include that as well. We also have what we call family meetings. We used to do this monthly. This year we're doing it quarterly. So at the end of each quarter, we get all of the grade level together. So we do 6th grade once all together, 7th grade, 8th grade, and we give them some information. So we give them, we show them what they've done really well. Like we highlight what they, 6th grade had the fewest amount of tardies. Whatever piece we can find, we celebrate what they've done great. We give each grade level an area of focus. So this is what we want you working on. It creates this accountability with each other as well, because they want to see improvement in the next family meeting. We highlight our students with 4.0s, our students on the honor roll, our perfect attendance, anybody who got a positive bus referral. We just are celebrating, celebrating, celebrating. We have Grammy nominees. These are students who are nominated by their teachers as kids who have just kind of gone above and beyond. And then at each family meeting, we also have our Grammy winners. Those kids get an actual trophy, it's got their name on it, and they get some certificates as well. Families come out, take pictures, it's really an exciting time. We also use that opportunity to continue to build relationships by playing a game all together. So we've done tug of war, we've done, what's the one where you hold the stick and then you, limbo? Is that what it's called? I didn't participate in that one, I just took pictures. This time, we taped some of our staff to the wall, which didn't work at all. Not one single staff member remained taped to the wall, so just a heads up there. But they all gave it their best shot. These are some of our photos from our family meeting. You've got our Grammy nominees up top, and then each of these are some of our Grammy winners. The Grammy winners, I should say, are presented by the teacher as well. So the teachers, they're presenting that. It's really awesome. Okay, we had this, I had an updated one. It just didn't get in here, so I apologize. You're looking at Q1 data. It's about the same percentage-wise. We have over 100 students, close to 200 students in each grade level that are achieving honor roll status. This is Q1. The numbers are very, very similar for all of first semester. You can see here in first quarter, 36 of our students had 4.0s, 53 in 7th grade had 4.0s, 39 8th graders had 4.0s. These are kids who achieved a 3.0 up to a 4.0. That's what's considered honor roll. We're doing our NWEA testing right now. Tomorrow is our reading, and what we do in order to encourage them, you know, we communicate a lot with them. What they'll do, we do testing right now kind of like state testing, so we send them into a designated room. They're not taking it in their regular classroom setting. We're amping it up a little bit, getting them ready for the testing that's coming in the spring. But what we do give them is each kid gets their own goal setting sheet. They see it each and every day. And we tell them we want to see 1 point of improvement. If they hit 1 point of improvement, they get a raffle ticket. At lunch, we have a huge table of snacks or different opportunities. So we've entered them into drawings. We've got teachers who are giving up their own lunch to have pizza lunch with kids so they can redeem these tickets for prizes. Again, it just kind of gives them a sense of accomplishment. They don't necessarily see what the NWEA test is for, right? Like, we can see that from our educator eyes. We have a broader scope, but to them, they're like, oh my God, another test, I can't believe it. They feel that excitement to achieve, and they have a tangible reward at the end of it, and we've seen incredible, incredible growth and success from that. So I'm excited to see how our scores turn out this winter. Some points of pride. We have Karen Levesque is our multilingual teacher, who we share her with Franklin, but she's at our building quite often. She recently partnered with one of our 6th grade teachers, Miss Lindo, during one of their social studies units. And she had so essentially what happened was our 6th grade students interviewed some of our multilingual students to find out what it was like to be in America for the first time. What was it like to move across the country or move from one country to another? Miss Lindo and Miss Levesque said that it was one of the most eye-opening and touching opportunities that they've ever had, and the engagement from the kids, because they were really interacting with each other on a level that you don't often get to see. So what I'm really excited about is Miss Lindo and Miss Levesque want to turn this into something a little bit bigger next year. And I'm excited to see what that's going to be. Another really exciting thing for us is we've got a partnership with the church Kirk of Our Savior. They have for the past few years now given us a very generous donation that we use to really support our students. So a lot of these things, like the trophies, for example, that we get for our Grammy award winners, we use some of that donation money from them. They funded our entire esports program. So we were one of the first middle schools in the state of Michigan to have an esports program. This is where they compete they play video games with other schools across the state who are playing video games at the same time. It's amazing. It's very popular. The kids love it. And we have an awesome, awesome esports lab that has been funded through this partnership. So it's really exciting. It's really given us a lot of opportunities that we might not otherwise have. Do you have any questions for me? Yeah.
I'd like to thank your work and your participation and your joy and love for the children over at the school. And I really love the partnerships with the churches. I work with the Wayne Chamber of Commerce, and it's a church called Lanterns Church, and they are in the schools and they're helping and they do lots of the mentoring. So I think that's really nice, especially getting different, mentoring from the community, even at Hicks. I think that's amazing. I've been working on getting a lot of when I was younger, they had the AKAs, but I was like the little surreal. So it's nice to have like the sororities and fraternities. And there's a guy at my church I just talked to the other day, and he had like a young fraternity sororities, kind of like in the high schools and middle schools and stuff like that. And it kind of helps, bring them together, give them positive activities. And one thing I liked about doing those is a lot of community service. I did that early, in high school. So thank you so much for what you do.
Of course, thank you.
Anyone else? Yes.
I'd just like to also say thank you for all that you do. But can you elaborate on the 93% at-risk learners?
Yeah, so the state of Michigan identifies an at-risk learner as any student who who meets one of several categories. So it could be that that their parents' income is below a certain amount. Perhaps they have a parent who's incarcerated. They may have had some health issues early on, or were eligible for, early preschool. They are, like I mentioned, socioeconomically disadvantaged in some way. So if they hit any one of those categories, they're identified as an at-risk learner.
And the other thing is that the basketball and the volleyball between the student and the staff.
Yeah.
Did the staff sign waivers?
Yeah, you know what? I better put some together this evening. I know they keep saying like, oh, we need more staff to sign up, more staff to sign up. I'm like, I'm not sure why. Yeah, we're gonna.
And also send out invites for that and the quarterly meetings.
Yes, I definitely will. Much like Mr. Furka, you guys are welcome to come in anytime. We'd love to have you guys there. Like I said, there's an energy at middle school, especially Stevenson Middle School, so come on.
Well, we appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, I will.
I just have one more.
Okay.
So I just want to take a few minutes. As you know, it is School Board Appreciation Month. And thank you, Ms. Peck, with your students to make them that beautiful sign. To celebrate all of you and your dedication to our district and your service to our families, we have a small token of appreciation that Mr. Toko and Dr. Ofili will bring to you. And then we also, to recognize our school board, we have cupcakes and cookies, so please help yourself as well. And please just join me in a round of applause for their service and our dedication to our students. Thank you. I will, a little sneak peek, they are all the same, but it does include, you will have your choice of picking out your own Wayne Westland apparel. There's a little order form in there, along with a hat and a lanyard. So thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
No cookies
Cookies are over there.
Oh, cookies are over there.
Yeah. And you have to take any cookies or cupcakes that are left home with you tonight.
Well, I'm going to ask, and I don't know if this is appropriate or not, but I'm going to ask if the board would like to just take a 5-minute break to grab a cookie or a cupcake at this time.
Boy, proper leadership is everything.
So we will,
Yep.
I need
Yes,
a
we
motion
will.
for that, or just do it? I guess we just do it. 5 minutes.
Yes.
So be back in your seat.
Help yourselves, yes.
You know, yeah.
There's chocolate, vanilla, whole variety of cookies. I almost said it to all the kids really early. I'm like, they would all be fine. Right. You guys went ahead and you left.
Oh, that's why, because you had to go to the restroom.
No, because they're sitting over there, so nobody wants to have them sitting over there. You can get one.
Got Burger King. I like this, Calvin Klein.
Yeah.
How you doing today? All right. Just do whatever my boss says.
Don't forget cold.
Oh, is that what that is? Oh, it's a good idea. I was looking at the one road that looks like nobody was taking.
Oh, I know. You guys can take some home too for your families.
You don't think it's gonna be on TV that I'm sitting here talking
I
to
would be
my
too.
wife?
I just, it's true. Like, not giving them screens. Yeah, that is true. Yes. Yeah.
This would be great for the bad hair days.
Right? And then there's a whole, you guys can look, you can pick. There's a
I
whole
see.
bunch of choices.
Yeah, I like the polo, like the little jacket ones. That way you can wear if it's cold and stuff.
I will tell you, it seems that just a little tidbit, some of the gear runs a little smaller.
Oh,
So just
okay.
order, like if you're normally a small, I would order a medium.
Okay, okay.
How much you like?
Got your cookies.
Right.
No. It was just in that room.
It was already in there when you came in?
Yeah.
I'll take it back.
Jen, we can do 276, 25 in one, or do we have to do it in separate?
I want it to be large and extra large.
That's how it's gonna.
Okay.
Can you get that?
Shannon, my bag is under your feet, just so you know that.
Okay, I can bring it to you.
I can go for it.
Mr. Beatty, I don't care what I have on, he always turning back to me.
Y'all got a thing.
We just got one here. Disconnection or something.
All right, so I'm gonna call us back to order at this point in time. And moving us along in our agenda, we are at item 270.25, Citizens' comments regarding agenda items. I have one form here, but this one is not in regards to an agenda item, based on what I can see. Are there any others that I'm missing? Okay, thank you. So next we move to item 271.25, consent agenda. I am looking for a motion.
Move approval.
Thank you. Do we have support?
Support.
Mrs. Hines, would you like to call the vote?
Miss Abney Mitchell,
Yes.
Mr. Umbris,
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes, Mr. Rashawn,
Yes.
Dr. Weaver,
Yes.
Mr. Cox,
Yes.
President May,
Yes.
7-0, motion carries.
Thank you very much. We are now at item 272.25, Board of Education Committee Reports. Dr. Weaver, thank you for filling in for the Finance Committee. Do you have a report to share?
No, I wasn't provided with a report.
Thank you. Moving to item 273.25, Review and Approval of Business Service and Finance. We are turning that over to Mrs. Claire for our first item.
So I'm doing a mid-year budget presentation. I'll have the slides, but I'll also, in your packets, you have each of the budgets. It's all the budgets for this amendment. So the first one we're going to start with is general fund. I kind of put stuff on the slides. Because we have new board members, just what kind of things are done in each of the funds, and we do have a lot of funds too. So the general fund, we get money from basically everywhere, local, state, federal, other, which is basically Wayne Resa. So we have property taxes, athletic receipts, rental of buildings. We get Medicaid funds, the interest on our cash. The state, we get per pupil funding and state categorical. There are a little bit of federal funds in the state, but, in the general fund, but most of it is in, the federal grants fund, which is our next one. And like I said, the other funding is mostly from RESA. And then our fund modifications are usually indirects from grants, from the other funds. I'm so sorry. Can't hear me? Should have done that. So as you see in your packet, the estimated revenue is 138 million, and the expenses are estimated at 133 million, leaving a net income estimate of 4.5 million, which will be added to the fund balance and bring the fund balance to, it would bring it to a 27.43%. I just put in here about MSBO recommends a 15 to 20% fund balance. You need that fund balance to pay your grants, and then you get reimbursed. So you need that cash flow to do that. And the point of the general fund. Not moving this thing's just not. I'm sorry. This is basically the education of the children, transporting them, doing the reporting to the state, maintaining the school buildings, paying people, paying bills, classroom support. Most of your meat and potatoes is done on your general fund. The expenses have been updated to reflect the new contract agreements and new rates for UAAL. Basically, any expense items that I was aware of. And the revenue was adjusted for changes in state funding, property taxes, and other sources. Of course, we have to put a disclaimer. The unknowns, I can only account for what I know about. if something happens with that health insurance change, there was something put forward. I don't know that it ever made it to the governor's desk, but word on the streets is she's not going to sign it. But I just want to, if something happens, you know, that could change something. And there can always be new grants. Every day we get email about a new grant. Sometimes you get grants in May and they retro back to October. So it could go better, or it could go worse. So that's the general fund. Any, should I take questions now? If you have any questions about the general fund?
That's fine. Are there any questions for Mrs. Clear in regards to the jewel? Not in
Okay,
regards
if
to
you
jewel.
think of something, you know, you can always let me know. The next fund is our special ed fund. It is, the Act 18 program that is funded partially by RESA. And they take a portion of our state aid, and the fund nets to zero. It should be able to self-support itself. It does provide some income to the general fund. It gives us indirects, and it they pay a rent. They pay us some rental income. So that helps out the general fund.
So, does anyone have any questions?
On that fund?
So I do have one question. So I'm looking at what we have enclosed and there's an under, but that's just because this is mid-year?
Yes, the reason it's under is because if you look, there's a fund balance currently in it that shouldn't be there really. We're doing a transfer to get that over to the general fund.
Okay.
It should always have a zero fund balance, and it should net to zero. But somewhere a couple years ago, it generated fund balance, and I want to move it over so it continues to stay clean at the zero.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. So the next fund is our grant fund. We keep this in a separate fund. It also should net to zero. Whatever grant fund we have come in, we spend that so that it should always net to zero. Some of the examples of grants, we have the title grants, ESSER, which is ending this year, but we did have it for part of the year. At risk, we have over 8 million of at-risk funds this year. And we got a new grant for Filter First. That's putting in the, not drinking fountains, but where the kids fill their water bottles. So we were one of the largest, thank you, receivers of that grant this year. So that's going to be going on at the schools. Our grants help the general fund out also because some expenses the general fund would have had to pay, because this is a state mandate to have these water bottle filling stations. So we would have had to pay for that out of our, and we will end up having to put some money into that. They're not giving you 100%. So, but it at least alleviates the general fund for that, and we also get the indirects from the grant fund. Grants, some of the grants allow for us to get indirects, and that's just offsetting costs for the general fund, like payroll. They have to, you have to pay the employees. HR has to hire the employees. So it's a small percentage that helps out the general fund. Any questions about the grant fund?
Nope, thank you.
The fund, like I said, it just nets to zero. The next fund, food service. Its purpose, feeding the children, basically. The funds that we receive are from the catering, a la carte, and lunch sales. The children eat for free, so there's really not a revenue stream there. It basically covers their expenses and generates a small amount to buy capital improvements and anything needed. This fund should always have a small profit for for cash flow, but not really large amounts. And that's why I'm showing a small profit there. The next fund, sinking fund. The sinking fund is meant for, to fix the buildings, maintain the buildings. It's not really for the large projects, those are the bonds, but sinking funds helps with that. But the more smaller projects, the more day-to-day kind of things, that fund balance rolls over and we can use it. It's funded by property taxes and we get interest on those funds. And this year, we have budgeted some expenses to use for buses and that's cameras, security.
Right.
Those are new things that you're allowed to use the sinking fund for. So we're gonna be using this fund for that this year. That's why I've budgeted those expenses in there. And also the sinking fund will be what we use in between the bonds. We know there'll be a year or so that we don't have bond money, so if anything happens, we have a sinking fund to cover those expenses. Any questions about the sinking fund?
Through the chair, on the purchase of buses, do we continue to be on the bus purchase program that was established by the board, I think, 3 years ago?
That rotation?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay, and we're current with that?
yes.
Okay, great.
And I just got
Thank you.
one thing too. There's usually a safety and security grant that comes out that pays for like surveillance cameras and stuff. So,
COPS grant.
yeah. Will we be able to qualify for that or it has to
We
be through the
apply
cops?
for it, and then it depends on the year and how much money's in it. What district will get it and what district doesn't get it. We've received it before. We'll apply for it every year we can apply for it.
Yeah, because that would help us out too with the security and the technology and with our bond money and things of that nature to keep the kids safe. So that's really good.
Yeah, Kim P., I can't say her last name. She's very good about applying for any kind of grants.
She is.
So anything out there, she's got our name on, so. Okay, bond fund. This year, we should be finishing up, hopefully, we're gonna finish up this, spending the rest of this money for, the projects that we have, already lined up. Basically, bond fund, you sell bonds to the public and, you receive the funds we receive them in 3 package, installments. We're spending the 3rd installment now, finishing up the last projects. There'll be a little bit left over, and then we're going to do some little other things because we need to use that money right up to the 0 point. There is an item on the budget there for financing. That is to pay the arbitrage fees. Apparently with the bond funds, if you make too much interest, you have to pay the IRS some arbitrage fees. So I've allocated that in there. So we're hoping to get that right down to the 0. Wrong one? Yep, there's the bond fund.
Are there any questions in regards to the bond fund? All right, thank you.
Yep. I'm sorry, this isn't riveting information for most of us, but
Well, I do want to add one thing though, just so that everyone is aware. So when you talk about the bond funds, not last month, I don't know, was it December or November when we did have the presentation where we were able to view all of the things that took place with the bond?
Yes.
So just making that connection for people because we did have that
Yes.
opportunity, so that was great.
And actually, that's on our website, so if you want to look at how beautiful things that have been done at the schools with the last, this bond group, it's incredible. I couldn't believe how nice it makes the buildings look.
Absolutely.
If I may, through the chair, so nice that it really should be made available to local realtors for them to take a look at it, or for them to send it along with their information on homes that they're representing in this area. It's that good.
Yeah.
I'd want to see it. If I was looking at houses, I would be very encouraged to see that. And I don't know if we can facilitate making that available to them out there.
Yeah.
Just get it out in the space somehow.
Yeah, I mean, it is on our website, but I'm not sure if it's like a downloadable thing or if it's, locked down.
We have realtors come in all the time, and we can provide them, Jenny Johnson in Communications can provide them a flash drive or something with that on it, because we're gonna be having a rotation in all of our TVs that are in our buildings of that, just like we talked about at that Mrs. May was talking about.
At the
where
board
we had
meeting.
The presentation, so that slide, the slideshow will show at all of our buildings also, and we always do have realtors that come in, we can give them the flash drive for it.
And it is showing, like, I know it's showing in our building here, so I'm assuming it's showing at the others
buildings
too.
already, yeah.
It's a great idea.
And then one thing through the chair too, we should definitely show the pictures of the kids that build those houses with the Career Technical Center, because those houses are gorgeous, like, they're amazing. So I kind of cleaning up the house and found a lot of the pictures from like the houses they sold previously from the realtors, and they're awesome. That kind of helps too in the community, like showing, hey, we have a construction program next to Simca, that these kids can come out with really good paying jobs out of high school, and those houses are phenomenal. Like, how many kids can say I built a house in high school? Like,
Of course, maybe the idea of marketing the district a little bit more, so that it's that, just that sitting on our website, unless someone feels like coming over to our website and going through it and finding it, but rather make it available as somebody who's trying to sell the district would make it available,
It's also good when you're marketing for the next bond.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I thought it was really, really good. That's why when I saw it, I thought, wow, this looks great, all of it, so.
Okay, debt retirement, it's used to make payments, on the debt that, we incurred with the issuance of the bonds. We get property tax and interest to make those payments. That budget is pretty much, I know what the payments are. I estimated what the property tax is. They are pretty close in the amount. So. Any questions on debt?
No, thank
No?
you.
And then the last fund is school activity fund. This is where the kids sell popcorn and chocolate, or, and they go, use it for their clubs. Or, we heard from some of the schools, some of the things they do, and they get money, and, we keep track of it, in this fund. So, regarding all the funds, just kind of like a total positive financial outlook on all of our funds, everything looks, pretty good. So I'm asking you to please approve the budgets that I've prepared, and I will, again in June, we'll have another, budget presentation.
Thank you. So at this time, I will accept a motion to approve the.
Move approval.
that's it.
Oh, okay. Do we have support?
Support.
Thank you. Mrs. Hines, will you please call roll?
Yes.
I have a question.
Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped discussion. My apologies. Discussion.
So are we taking a vote to approve this, budget?
That's
The
my
budget
motion.
amendment?
Yes.
That's my
So,
motion.
are we just approving it, or are we approving it pending audit? Like, some other boards I've been on, we've approved the budget pending the audit, just saying that this budget is good with us unless something happened and we need to have an audit on it?
Well, this is a budget amendment,
Okay,
not a budget. This is a
Okay.
budget amendment.
Okay.
And my motion is to approve this amendment as presented.
okay, thank you. Okay.
Any other discussion? You may call roll call, please. Call for votes.
Dr. Weaver,
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose,
Yes.
Ms. Abney Mitchell,
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes. Mr. Cox,
Yes.
Mr. Rashawn,
Yes.
President May.
Yes,
Motion carries 7-0.
thank you. Mr. Toko, do you have a resolution to sell district property?
Yes, good evening, board and community. Tonight I'm recommending to the Board of Education to approve the sale of former Marshall property to Pulte Home Builders. Pulte Homes agreed to cover the cost of demolishing the existing building with an estimated cost of close to $3 million. They also agreed to pay $500,000 for the property. Also, if the site is deemed to be brownfield eligible, they have agreed to give us 50% of the credit that they get for that if it goes through with the grant. So we are in a good place with this because of the fact that they did come in before our next bond, and it would have been one of the projects. And I just want to mention that because it would have been one of the projects in our next bond, so we will save the money in that if it goes through tonight, close to $3 million in that space, and also get another $500,000 for the property. So it's we're in a really good situation for it to come through before our bond comes up in November.
Thank you. So I am asking for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Support.
Discussion?
I'd just like to say thank you for getting that taken care of quickly. We appreciate all the work. I'm really excited because at first we were just like, what are we going to do in Marshall? So to be able to get a really good realtor to come and take care of that for us, and we don't lose money because we were worried about, demolishing it and all that stuff. So being able to save money. So you guys did a good job. Superintendent Toko, Jewel, and all that stuff. So thank you so much for your hard work in that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Toko, I do have one question, and I can't find the resolution, sorry, in my shift. But does that say up to $3 million? So like if it's over $3 million, will we have to make up the difference?
No, they're gonna
Okay.
pay for the full demolition if it costs $5 million.
Okay.
We estimated when we were gonna demo it, it was estimated around 3, so whatever that cost ends up being, they're on the hook for it.
Okay, great. Thank you. If there's no other discussion, we can move with the vote.
All right. Ms. Hines, that's a yes. Mr. Rashawn?
Yes.
Dr. Weaver?
Yes.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose?
Yes.
Ms. Abney Whitchell?
Yes.
And President May?
Yes.
7-0. Motion passes.
Thank you. So next we're moving to item 274.25, and it looks like we are looking for a WCASB representative, and then we'll talk about an MASB representative. So at this time, do we have anyone that is interested in representing Wayne Westland as a part of the CASPA? The CASPA is the Wayne County Association of School Boards. So currently, I represent us on that, and so just to give you some information, there are about 3 general membership meetings and anywhere from 3 to 5 executive committee meetings, and so as a representative of Wayne Westland, you would be expected to attend those meetings. And they are held in the evenings and typically at Wayne Risa. Okay, if no one is
Do
interested.
we have to have somebody?
I think we should.
Well, I'm interested.
Okay. Anyone else?
Thank you, Luana.
Congratulations. You now represent us on the Wayne County School.
It's so
By
hard.
acclamation.
It's so hard to do what I do.
And next, we need an MASB representative.
I would like to be nominated for MSAB. I'm sorry, Michigan Association of School Boards.
Anyone else interested in that?
Dr. Weaver just got one of the most prestigious awards ever given out by MASB.
I'm willing.
All right. So we have Melanie Hines and we have Dr. Fred Weaver that are interested, and so we will take a vote.
I think you can have 2.
2? We have 2? I don't know, because I don't have anything in front of me that
I
talks
think it's
about it.
2.
Okay.
You can name them both.
All right, so then are we in agreement to naming Dr. Fred Weaver and Mrs. Melody Hines to represent us for the Michigan Association of School Boards?
Moved.
Support?
Support.
All right, thank you and congratulations.
Congratulations.
Next, we'll move to 275.25, designation of newspapers. We have 4 listed here, so this, for me, I'm not real clear on what this is, and I don't have anything in front of me.
I'd like to make a motion that,
Thank you.
that the board approve all the matters 1 through 4 as listed in one vote. These are all the same law firms that we've been dealing with for many years. They've given us exceptional service.
We're
and
doing
never let us
newspapers.
down. Huh?
We're on newspapers.
Oh, I thought we were doing, well, it's the same thing. And you know, I'm glad to see the dispatch in there because the dispatch wasn't in there before, the Wayne Dispatch, so I'm glad to see it there.
Is there a second or support of the motion?
Support,
Discussion?
discussion. One
Yes.
thing,
I'm
have
sorry.
we, I'm sorry.
Chair recognizes
Go
Ms. Mitchell, Abney Mitchell.
So my question is, what are we approving for them to run stories about us or to
Legal,
legal?
Yeah.
Legal, okay, thank you.
The newspapers, legal?
yes, don't you put legal notices in the newspapers, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Right.
thank you. Mrs. Hines?
I was wondering about the marketplace too, because they're pretty much out in Wayne and Garden City with Don Nicholson. Because they go out free to the library, City Hall, a lot of
No,
different places.
I think
not
that,
familiar
I
with
think,
them.
if I may, Madam President, I think we use them from time to time or special events where they put an ad in, you know,
Yeah.
like if we're having a fair or something. So I don't think they're excluded, but I think these are the official newspapers,
For the
right?
legal notices for bids.
Yeah, and it's not a newspaper so much as it's a,
Like a flyer?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And anyway, I'm not averse to putting it in all the publications, you know, serving all of them, but
Okay. So the motion is to approve the 4 that are listed. We had support. Any further discussion? All right. Mrs. Hines, will you please call the vote?
Mr. Rashawn,
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes, Ms. Abney Mitchell,
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose,
Yes.
Dr. Weaver,
Yes.
Mr. Cox,
yes.
President May,
Yes.
motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. We are now going to item 276.25, review and approval, legal firm representation. Mrs. Curry, I'm sorry, Superintendent Curry.
Thank you. I recommend the board approve the legal firm representation as presented.
So moved.
Support,
Discussion?
Question.
Yes.
What advantage do we have with Kelly Cawthorn, Governmental and Legislative Affairs? We're not getting much out of Lansing as far as I know.
I can actually speak to that. We actually work through with Mr. David Ladd through that firm, so I actually have a call with him tomorrow. So between myself and even other departments, we actually speak with him quite a bit regarding what's going on with Lansing and so forth.
And also, I would like to know how much we spend on these law firms every year. Thank you for last year, if you wouldn't mind. Thank you.
So that would be a follow-up question. This Interim Superintendent Curry, will you please share for the new board members who David Ladd is and what he does for us?
Sure. So I actually just started to get to know him. He works very closely even with Maria Mitter. And I'm going to use the word of kind of like what's coming down the pipe. That's the easiest way to explain it, so that he will get us on a quick call and say, here, I need you to can you contact the legislators for X, Y, and Z? Or kind of like, I'm going to use the word rally the troops a little bit, is to kind of put the people under fire for certain bills or whatever the hot topic is within education that we as a district feel is not best for kids. That's the easiest way I can explain it.
Okay.
almost like a lobbyist in a way, kind of.
Yep.
All right, thank
I
you
have
for
a
that.
question.
Yes, I'm sorry.
And Miller Johnson is the attorney office that we just used to negotiate the contracts?
Correct.
Oh, yes. I would like, yes. So we gonna get a follow-up, how much money we paid?
Yep, I can get you a list of all that.
Okay, thank you.
I don't have it off the top of my head, we have to gather it, but I can do that.
And last year might not have been a good representation.
We might get a couple year trend.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah, we
say
can
that.
probably
Maybe we
get
could do like a
couple
3 to 5 year
years.
trend.
Yeah,
That would be great.
yep.
So at this point, we have a motion, we have support. Any further discussion? Mrs. Hines, will you please call the roll?
We have Ms. Hines, yes. Mr. Ambrose?
Yes.
Let's see. Mr. Rashawn?
Yes.
Ms. Abney Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Dr. Weaver?
Yes.
Ms. President May?
Yes.
7-0. Motion carries.
Thank you. We are now at item 277.25, review and approval of human resources. Dr. O'Feely.
Thank you, President May. At this time, I'd like to recommend to the Board of Education that Ms. Jewel Clare become our next Chief Financial Officer. I provided the board with her contract at the Finance Committee meeting for their review. On behalf of the district leadership, I also want to thank Jewel for all of her hard work as she's filled in as our financial consultant for the last few months. Ms. Clare comes to us with a Bachelor's of Business Administration from Eastern Michigan University, a Master's of Science from Walsh College, MSBO CFO certification, and she's held positions as an accountant, a supervisor of manager of accounting with Mercy Health Plans, an accounting manager with Pilot Industries, a project accountant with Diversity Lever, a business analysis with Wayne Risa, and most recently, she's been a financial consultant for Wayne Westland Community Schools. At this time, I would like to emphatically recommend Ms. Clare as our next CFO.
So moved.
Support.
Thank you. Discussion?
I'd just like to say, by the chair,
Yes.
thank you so much. You've done an amazing job. I
Yes,
mean,
yes.
you turned this district around. I'm super excited to have you on board, and thank you so much for coming aboard.
I'd just like to say, I think your mother gave you the perfect name, because you are a jewel here.
All right. We have a motion and we have support. Mrs. Hines, will you please call roll?
Yes, Mr. Rashawn?
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes. Ms. Abney Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose?
Yes.
Dr. Weaver?
Yes.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
And President May?
Yes.
Motion carries. Congratulations.
Welcome.
Mr. O'Feely? Dr. O'Feely, I'm sorry.
Thank you, President May. At this time, I would also like to recommend to the Board of Education that you approve our 3-year WWEA contract agreement from 2025 through 2027. Our goal as a district at the beginning of the contract negotiations was to provide a competitive and equitable contract that will attract and retain WWEA members for years to come, and we are thrilled that we have successfully done that for our community. This contract provides wage increases for all members, lowers class sizes, and our early childhood teachers from Stoudemire are now members of the WWEA Collective Bargaining Group. I want to thank the WWEA bargaining team, our district bargaining team, and the Board of Education for working as a team to benefit staff and students. And at this time, I would like to make a recommendation for that contract.
Move
So
approval.
So-
Support.
Support.
We have both a motion and support. Discussion.
I will not be voting.
I'm sorry, I didn't recognize anyone.
Oh, well, excuse me.
No, I'm sorry, because you both started talking, so just give me a moment. Dr. Weaver?
Thank you. I just want to remind the community that I will not be voting on this contract because my wife is a part of VA. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Weaver. Mrs. Abney Mitchell?
I just want to ask the same question. Are our members in the union happy? And
I believe they are happy. They had a chance to take it to their membership last week, and they voted in support of the contract.
okay. Thank you.
Any other discussion at this time? Mrs. Hines, will you please call roll?
Ms. Abney Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose?
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes. Dr. Weaver? I'm sorry.
He's not.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He's not.
Calm down.
Calm down.
Fire out.
Mr. Rashawn?
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes. Mr. Cox?
Yes.
And President May?
Yes.
6-0.
I
Motion
don't
carries.
believe you called my name, so I can abstain.
Oh, I thought I did. You said
You
no.
did.
Yes, but I didn't get a chance to answer.
Okay.
I will abstain on this vote. Thank you.
Thank you.
So when he sustained on, he got to give reason?
He already did. We're
Okay,
good.
but.
We're moving
I
on.
mean,
Thank
okay.
you.
All right, calm down.
No, we're all good. Dr. O'Philly, team, our union, I just want to say thank you so much for getting us to this point where we are able to move forward. I know our families are very happy to have a calendar and just to know that everything is going well. So thank you for everyone's hard work. I know it was some long hours there, so thank you.
Very long.
We are now at item 278.25, citizens' comments on non-agenda items. As of right now, I have one document in front of me, and that is for Mr. Calvin Hines.
Hello, my name is Calvin Hines, and I'm an 11th grader at John Glenn High School. I'm here today because recently, when talking with school officials at a student council meeting, I asked if there would still be the opportunity to take online AP classes next year, to which I was informed that currently the district is preparing to end this opportunity starting next year. I'm not gonna, beyond going how it can mess up a lot of students' careers, since there are currently limited AP class offerings offered at Wayne Wesleyan Community Schools. From my understanding, this also is a violation under section 388.162F of the Michigan Legislature, which is more commonly referred to as section 21F. Section 21F explicitly states that a primary district shall enroll an eligible pupil in virtual courses in accordance with the provisions of the section. If you want to know the specifics of the provisions, you may look them over, but none of the provisions apply to me. Most of the other kids that are asking for these classes. So if with course scheduling coming around, if the district rejects my request for these virtual classes, you must provide me with a letter stating why, which must be in accordance with section 21F from my understanding. Just please keep this in mind before you are deciding for the district to no longer allow students to take online courses. As according to section 21F, you must grant a student at least 2 classes per academic period of their choice. I truly do not wish to be disrespectful or rude up here, and everything said is meant with kind intentions. But of course, coming around, I feel there just needs to be a resolution regarding this situation as soon as possible, so many kids can get their schedules for next year sorted out before it's too late, like what happened last year, and we were left in the dust at the last moment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.
Are there any other comments? All right, thank you. We are now moving to item 279.25, interim superintendent's report or comments. Mrs. Curry.
Thank you, President May. Congratulations to Miss Claire. We're very excited to have you officially on our team. I also want to express my gratitude to our teachers and for their dedication, and to their negotiation team for their collaborative efforts in reaching an agreement that supports both our educators and the success of our students. So thank you. On this past Saturday, we held a special board meeting and included a facilitator from MASB. The session provided valuable insights into our communication and behavioral tendencies, as well as those of our colleagues, and I'm looking forward to working and building on that work. And last but not least, congratulations to our newly appointed board members and board president. I look forward to working with you.
Thank you. We are now at item 280.25, review and recommendations, Board of Education. I am going to start with Mr. Cox.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Congratulations on your election to that office. And I know that whomever sits in that office has the perceived majority of the board behind them. And I do support you because I hear the way you talk in meetings about your focus. I know that you know education a lot better than I know education. Your focus is student performance. And since I've been on this board, every decision that I've made has tried to work into the area of student performance. That seems to be what everybody's looking at out there. And I want our community school district to be the best. And that's why I'm not only happy with the leadership on the board, and congratulations to the other officers, but to be able to sit here and finally see the kind of a contract for WWEA that I had hoped for. Frankly, I was hopeful of getting the contract to the middle of the county. I was trying to pull it up to the middle of the county, but this is where we need to be. I think this is very important for our teachers to be focused on their job here, and I think it's going to attract a lot of people, and I'm very excited about it. I'd like to say that I had to leave the last meeting of 2024 before the end of the meeting, before I had an opportunity to express my appreciation to Mr. Mark Neal, who served on the school board for 6 years. In just about every capacity that I know